Go ahead.
I can't see myself.
Well, that's okay.
I'm not really there.
Hi, I'm Miriam.
Hi, I'm Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and the technical guy. And I was just bumping up the bit rate because we're
Bump
here.
it up,
Anyway, if you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed for doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements. They're amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for daily updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. Thanks so much for joining us on our keto journey.
This guy said, but we can see you. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can see me, but I couldn't see me because there was something in front of my face.
It's true.
It's okay.
It was covering up everything in the whole world.
Just me.
Okay. So we got Becca here, who is almost forgot. Debbie's
Hi,
here
Becca.
as well.
How are
So
you?
is Carrie.
Debbie, hi,
Betsy
Carrie.
says, hey, everyone. Let's see. People talking back and forth.
Talking, happy talk.
Lashana says, salute de homies in the chat.
Things we like to
This guy says, Ola Peeps actually made it for a nighttime live.
Hello,
Well, welcome.
Sky. How are you? I hope you're safe somewhere.
Looks like Carrie was talking about not having coffee. He's almost at 60 days.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Doesn't drink coffee anymore. It sounds like he needs to get some more sleep. That's what I need to do.
Sleep would be good.
No, so Betsy asked. Forgive me for asking this again, but does beef soup base have a flavor similar to beef stock or no flavor at all? And so I replied that, yeah, it has a beef flavor because it's made with powdered beef.
Yep.
But it's pretty mild, and there's no added flavor.
And what you can do, like if you wanted to try to make a chocolate shake with it, just add some cocoa powder and then taste it until you can get it to cover up the beef flavor. So it does work.
Yep. Carrie said, Chris, did you see I got Branson good with one of my jokes? I did
Oh,
not
nice.
See that. Kathy says, good evening.
Hi, Kathy.
Christy Davis is here. Hopes everyone has a great night.
Yeah.
Randy is here. Rhiannon says, hello, friends.
Hello.
Kathleen says, greetings all from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Hey, Kathleen, you're by us.
Oh, Sky says the post office found my order and actually sent someone, not the usually delivery person, out to the RV park with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad you found it.
J-Dog is here, so is Marie.
You forgot
Tricia
to say hi to
says,
Stephanie.
Did I?
Yeah. Hi, Stephanie.
Where?
At the top.
Oh, sorry, Stephanie.
From Cleveland, Ohio.
Lynn says I've been feeling heart flutters and lightheadedness. How many times a day can I use the electrolytes? They do work.
You can use
There's
them a
not
lot.
really a limit, so you can
If
just
you
use it
use
when you
too
feel
many,
like
you should be able to just pee them out.
within reason. Now, Joe has
within reason.
gone overboard and started retaining water, but if you're using them within reason and it doesn't taste salty to you, then you should be good to go with about how much ever you want.
Yeah, and be careful. And be safe.
Exchange student says, I didn't even want to try pina colada. And wow, what do you know? I like it. And Fruity Loop was better the second day than the first. It's crazy how that works.
Yes.
Chidek says, who asked who?
Who did?
So Kiss is watching from my bathtub. Nice.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're so cozy.
Kathleen says, 32 hours into a 72-hour fast. Anyone else doing a longer
Nice.
fast? Not for
That's
a while.
awesome.
I should do that again.
I know, we should. We should do it next week.
Kathy says, hello all.
Hello.
Let's see. Carrie says, carob powder would give the coffee flavor without any of the caffeine.
Oh, that's cool.
Matreya's here. Sorry, Dr. Matreya.
Hi, Dr.
Good evening,
Matreya.
all. Stephanie's here. Carrie Brown says, you look ridiculously cute in that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I did not want to take a shower today, so hot day it is.
Andrea, the birthday girl, is here.
Hello, birthday girl.
Rick says, hi, folks. Let's see. Did they say Stwong is here? Stwong's here.
Hi, Swan.
Patsy's here from Blackfoot, Idaho as
Patsy.
well. Mix says, good evening. I'm doing meal prep and packing. Got my surgery on Thursday down in Utah. And my daughter is a carbivore, mixing shakes and making chaffles.
Nice.
Was that you that we met today, or was that someone
No,
else?
we've met Meg before.
Who was that we met today?
Oh no, Stacy and Bryn.
Okay.
No, maybe it wasn't Bryn. Maybe it was. Oh, I knew I'd forget because I thought it was like Brianna, but without the Anna part.
Okay.
Bree. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Jerry says it's only 47 days until the low carb cruise.
Yes.
And we finally have a solution for our 8th spot.
Yes.
One of our daughters wasn't going to come on the cruise,
Yep.
even though we had already paid for it all.
Silly girl.
And so
It's like she wants to be responsible
one
and
of
do
our
other
other
things.
daughters has a friend who wanted to take her place.
Yay!
So it's all taken
So
care of
happy.
now. She booked her flight. They're on the same flight. She's on the same flight as us. It's all good. Sky says not to be too TMI or graphic, but is gastric upset common when first using Keto Chow?
It can be.
It can be, and it also depends on the fat that you're using.
Yep.
If in doubt, cut the amount of fat down to 10 grams and use like butter or avocado oil or something like that and try that. Because I've actually noticed lately, well, I didn't have it happen today. I had 2 Keto Chows made with heavy cream.
Yeah.
Didn't have any problem. But in the past week or two, when I've done Keto Chow with heavy cream, I have had some bathroom issues.
Yeah. It's
Then
funny.
you take my dad, who when he eats Keto Chow, it makes him constipated. So
Yep. You can add a little bit of gelatin, like a teaspoon of gelatin, and that a lot of times helps. Also, I've noticed if you drink it for lunch instead of for breakfast, sometimes it doesn't cause upset too. So
I'm not yawning because you're boring.
it's okay. I know I'm boring.
Randy watched the fifth wheel today. That's a job.
Nice.
Let's see. Shauna's here, says hello, Chris and Miriam. Nancy says, do you know when you will have another Keto Chow sale?
Oh, not for a while. We just had Irish cream on St. Patrick's Day, so that was fun.
Yep. So it's not the sort of thing that we announce ahead of time.
We will throw things in email, so if you are subscribed to our emails, you'll hear about it that way. But not right now.
Sounds like Carrie's having some problems with ankles swelling.
Oh, no.
That happens to Miriam when she doesn't get enough sleep.
Yeah, I have to put my feet up. And I also got I call it the pounder, but you know, it's one of those massage guns, and I just rub the bottom of my legs, and that seems to help quite a bit too.
Linda's here from Jackson, Tennessee. Love Keto Chow, down 17 pounds in 5 months.
Nice.
One thing I wanted to point out.
I'm so proud of you.
If you go to lowcarbevents.com, by the way, did you know there's a map function?
No.
The map function will show you all the different venues on
Wow.
a map. And did you know there's the Low Carb for Better Health in August, and it's not on the map yet because Dr. Berry hasn't given any information except for when it's going to be. And that is the Proper Human Diet Summit.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It's going to be September 17th. No more information.
September 17th?
Yeah, no more information than that. That's it. I actually said, hey, when you get more information, let me know so I can put it up.
Yes.
He's like, it's on September 17th. More information.
Did you text him today?
Yeah. Okay. And I'm like, dude, I already know that.
Well, I didn't know that.
I went through and listened to his live stream.
Oh,
They're going to they can only have like 250 people. Oh. So they're going to open up ticket sales to Patreons first.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway.
Cool.
Let's see. Kabul Bryce here. This is a great evening, y'all.
Hi, Brian.
Miss seeing your smiling faces in the mornings. But the day job is being demanding.
Oh, well.
Put your priorities in order, and you do that first. Anyway,
That's
so
right.
darn excited. See y'all in just a few days at Keto Salt Lake.
Yay.
Where did we go today, Miriam?
We went to the venue, Keto Salt
we did.
Lake, and it felt more real.
Yep.
So we're excited.
I'm actually, we got a lot of questions about setup and
logistics.
I was really happy.
Yeah.
So I'm.
And we've got the schedule nailed down. I just need to send it to the speakers so we can just make sure there's no changes. I changed one thing today.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. So we could probably publish that now.
Okay. Chrissy says, I can't wait to see what's in the Keto Chow surprise box for April. Saving up for Chow Box, and I'm hoping it will have some of my favorite flavors.
I hope so too. That's like in a minute.
Meg says I'm going to try and come over to the storefront next week while I'm recovering. Looking forward to seeing you all again.
You got to be careful though, because if you're hurting, don't feel like you have to come, because we want you to recover. But we would love to see you if we can.
Sky says I've used both heavy whipping cream and butter. Less than half an hour later, it was hour later, it was no holds barred. I would try cutting out the heavy whipping cream and seeing if that helps you out.
Yeah, could be.
Uncle Big Guy has made it through live earlier, and here tonight. Usually have other things to do on a Tuesday.
Hey, we're so glad you're here.
Yeah. Kathy says, what does your dad do to help with the constipation? He gets a water bottle, drinks it down a bit, puts a bunch of psyllium husk powder in it. and shakes it up.
Which
and
some
then,
people have a hard time with silent
Yeah.
musk powder, but it seems to help him.
Then he just adds that to the Keto Chow already mixed up, and that just a little bit helps. The problem with taking something like Metamucil, even the sugar-free Metamucil,
Has
the number one ingredient is maltodextrin.
dextrose. Oh, sorry, maltodextrin.
Or it might be dextrin. Anyway, it's sugar.
It's one of those.
April says, good evening, lovelies. I had an issue with the chocolate toffee large bag not having any flavor.
Oh, no.
That's interesting. Received a store credit and got Snickerdoodle. Do you think this one should be fine? It should be.
Yeah.
That's
for
interesting
reaching
that it
out.
had no flavor. Did you send it back or did they ask for that? Because I'd actually like to test that
Yeah,
out.
we would.
Sky says, glad to know it isn't just necessarily me. Yep. Jessica says, good evening. Bob is
Jessica,
here from Rainy,
I miss
Arizona.
you. I've been thinking about you all day for some reason. I hope you're good.
Miriam was really concerned, Bob, by the way, that her hair didn't look good today. So thank you for giving her validation.
Thank you, Bob. I needed some
It's especially
validation.
glowing. I'm always seeking validation, so.
That's right.
Visual Q says, my first chow is often not until 11:30 or noon. Wow, it keeps me full so long. Sometimes not hungry until 5.
Wow, that's awesome.
Let's see. Mimi is here, so is Carla.
Hi, Mimi.
Andrew says, I'm in my 4th week
Hi,
of Bronson's
Carla.
challenge and it's getting easier. I'm exhausted
Nice.
but learning a lot.
I know, I should have just done it with you because there was an option to buy in and I thought I was going to get accepted and I didn't, so I was pouting. But I should have just done it with you anyway.
So Carrie just, they installed Microsoft Teams. It's kind of like Slack. by
Oh,
the way.
nice.
This is working well. Kathy says they just finished an egg roll in a bowl dinner and made up a pistachio
Nice.
shake and red licorice pudding.
Oh,
for
that
tomorrow.
sounds amazing.
Keto Chow is godsend for me. Finally, within 1.2 pounds of my goal after a month of
Yes.
using it. We had taco guts
Yes.
again, and Haley said, "Wow, I've had taco guts."
Oh, 'cause
3
we had it
times
for lunch today.
She had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner yesterday.
Poor
4
Haley.
consecutive
She's like,
meals.
okay, thank you for the tacos. I'm ready for a change.
Well, we were supposed to have chicken thighs
I know,
tonight.
I didn't put them in.
Well, we already had the ground beef made, and it was
Yeah.
like 5:20 when I finally got
yeah,
home.
do you want to tell them why we got derailed? I got
Well,
permission.
so the short version is one of our daughters was driving her 2 siblings and Kiani
And a friend, yeah.
home, and they were trying to figure out where Kate was going to turn.
Yeah. So she was getting all this different direction. We weren't supposed to say anyone's names.
Oh, sorry. Well, no
So-
one's like, I don't know who that is. Anyway,
They were getting a bunch of different directions
Yeah.
from each person in the car. And so she didn't turn where she was planning on turning and had to make a correction and she hit a car. So I was going to say, you get that call that you never want to hear, like you never want to
I've
get.
been in an accident. I'm like, wait, did you say you've been in an accident?
Yeah, but I could hear her voice, so that meant she was alive. So that was a good
Yes.
sign, right?
Turns out our car, it's drivable. The front grille was, the hitch receiver of the SUV that they bumped into just
It
crunched
just
the hood.
crunched the hood.
Didn't
yeah.
damage the radiator. Nobody was hurt in either car.
Yeah.
But Kate, she couldn't find the insurance.
Stop
Which-
saying her name.
Sorry, that's why I
She
stopped
asked
saying
me
it.
to stop.
That's why I stopped saying it. Anyway, she couldn't find the insurance, which she could find an old copy
Yep.
of it. And the lady that they had run into had actually had issues in the past where the person who ran into them didn't actually have insurance.
Yeah, and
We're buffering a little
that's
bit.
unfortunate.
And
that
so she
happens.
actually did call the police. And so I booked it over there. I could have just sent her a PDF of the insurance, but it turned out okay.
Yep.
The lady was really nice. She actually called the police and said, you don't need to come.
We're gonna be okay.
But we
We'll
got
just-
it all taken care of.
Yep.
Steve, who just finished fixing up his Mustang, he's like, okay, we're going to go to the pick and pull. We're going to get a new hood. We're going to get that new grill. We're going to take care of
What a
it. We might have you
sweetheart.
running this weekend while
Oh my
we're
gosh.
listening to stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I just need to go to, find out what pick and pull has a 2006 Chevy Impala. It's blue. The new hood is going to be blue.
I can't believe you guys already figured that out in like a couple hours.
It wasn't hard. Well, we need to go over there still.
Oh, okay.
But
that'll be
it's just
pretty.
funny. He's like, well, we could paint it to match the same color. I'm like, no, it's a teenager car.
Yeah.
It's a badge of honor. Different color hood. Come on.
It's just a red flag. Like, this person's crazy.
One of my kids borrowed my car and put a bunch of scratches in it. And I was
My
like,
car also has scratches in it. So
actually, our cars have matching scratches
yeah,
from where
they run
they
into
went next
each
to
other.
And it's like, do I fix it?
Yep.
Why would I fix it? It's just going to get damaged
Well,
again.
and this is the thing, like, the problems we've ever had, the only times the kids have ever hit any cars was our own
Our cars.
Like, they hit the car with this car, just barely, just a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit. And so this is the first time we've actually got the call, I've been in a car accident. But it does help me remember my why. Like, it helps me, it kind of gives you that fear that the most important thing in the world to you could come crashing down at any moment. So it does give me a reason to try harder, to be better, to stick with my goals, with my food, with my exercise, so I can stay here longer, to be here for that why. And so that's kind of what I was thinking about today. Like, this person could not be here tomorrow, and
That's
how
right.
important it is for me to just be with them now. Like, let's work on that, work on my health so I can be here for my why.
So let's get through some of these comments.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
Mary's here, loving the cap. Larry says it makes orange cream with orange herbal tea and heavy whipping
Oh,
cream.
that
It's
sounds
so good.
yummy.
Laureen is here. Ben's girl says had root beer chow for the first time today. I love it. I need more.
Yes, I'm so glad.
Jerry likes MS Teams. You can have it. Lori says, hey, you too.
Hey, Lori.
Let's see. What did Rhonda say? Good evening. Hey, there you go. Glenn says, Chris, is your mic off? I can hear Miriam fine. It shouldn't be.
That's funny. Well, where is
No.
it? It's on your lap.
Oh my gosh.
You're sitting on it. I don't know
Well,
why that's
there's
so
my
funny.
problem. Usually I'm
Okay.
just projecting so much. Sheesh, it took that long for anybody to notice?
Because you're a loud mouth.
Rick went, yeah, he isn't wearing his, his mic. Andrew says, is everyone okay? Yeah, everyone,
Yep,
even in
everyone's
the other
okay.
car. The poor lady, she had called the cops because she had had that bad experience in the past. But then when I got there, she's like, I feel so bad. Like, I have teenagers too. And clearly,
Yeah,
she's not
it was
handling it
an
well.
accident.
But yeah. So it was all
Yeah.
good.
I
And my
mean,
insurance is
it
taking
could have
care
been
of
so
it.
much worse, but
Yes.
like, it was just a little, bump enough to kill the hood. But,
Well, yeah, the hood will not currently open.
but the fact it drove home, like,
It's
that's a good sign.
failed in a closed position, which, as long as we don't have to charge anything, it's just great.
Yeah.
Heather says, ha, I did that. I backed into my dad's truck.
Yeah. Right. And you know what? I was telling the kids this today because I think that they were so worried about how, like, it's an accident. I'm not a good driver or whatever. And then the other two that were in the car are learning how to drive right now, right? So it's already scary because they're not experienced drivers and they're getting practice and they keep making mistakes all the time. And I'm like, people get in accidents. Like, people make mistakes. As long as it's just an okay, like, mistake. Hopefully nobody dies. Like, it happens all the time. I was telling them about the accidents I've been in. Like, I accidentally ran into Steven's car one time in our driveway. And then I got in an accident when I was a kid. The garbage truck ran into us.
Just kept backing up.
And then I got in an accident with one of my girlfriends who did the same thing that, this happened. She just bumped into the back of somebody at a light and we're okay. And I know that there are times when worse accidents happen and people aren't okay. So I'm not saying that it's okay, but I just want them to know that a lot of times it can be fine, right?
Yep. Gary says, you've seen my car way back in the day. It's a white Chevy Chevette, and the window was busted on the passenger door, so we replaced it with a green door with a window. Nice. Yes. Well, Mrs. Today, my husband did day 1 of keto. Thanks for providing him inspiration. And of course, your delicious vanilla keto chow.
Happy. Thank you
But
for
she
sharing
says, I'm
that with
66 and I don't handle accidents without a lot of tears.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah. Uh-oh, we are buffering again.
Yeah. Well, and I think another thing that was really hard was there was a friend, was it 2 years ago? Oh, it must have been 2 or maybe even 3 years ago, one of Audrey and Haley's friends were driving and got in an accident, and the sister died.
Oh, yeah.
And that girl was Kate's age. And so that was pretty traumatic at the time. And that was, I mean, can you imagine that poor sister feeling like, living with that for her whole life, like just feeling that guilt forever. And it was just an accident. But so it's super sad and scary. So there is.
Sean says, my brother, when he was a teenager, borrowed my Volkswagen Bug and totaled it while I was on vacation.
Oh.
Blue Dev is working on evaluation forms for kiddos. We have appointments tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I actually have an appointment tomorrow, too, for
Yeah, Uncle Big Bag
kids.
says, "Get thanks, they're all okay."
Yeah.
Andrew says, can you imagine a car full of teens hitting a bus? All these kids are flipping and the driver is cool as a cucumber, assessing everyone. My life. It's scary for kids, hoping they're all okay. LaShawn says, just came back in. Who got in an accident? One of our daughters.
Yep.
Yeah, and buffering was indeed happening. I lowered the bit rate.
Sorry about that.
Christy says, when I was little, we got hit by a police officer who was busy flirting with some girl. He just pulled over, then pulled out and hit our minivan. Holy cow.
Oh, that's sad.
Meg says, glad your daughter is okay. I ran into my dad's truck with our van when I was 16. Left a dent in the front passenger side of the van near the headlight. I'll probably have my daughter drive me over. I'm not driving home till after my post-op appointment on the 13th.
Oh, yeah, you need to be careful. You need to.
Yep, and it was buffering there for a second. Sylvia says, I've been rear-ended 3 times.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so did you want to answer any of the questions that we have?
Yeah, we got some questions. Here is a good one. We haven't actually talked about this in a long time. So Anne is asking, I don't know if you were looking up that. I'm saying the wrong one.
Yeah.
Then you. Okay, I'll go back to the top. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Well, which one did you want to talk about?
Can you use butter, powder, cream, or cream cheese to make shakes? So that's powdered. So powdered butter, powdered cream cheese. So we actually have talked about this quite a bit. We have a really good post. And what has been interesting is we found out through the spec sheets, because when you can talk to the manufacturer and stuff, you can get better specs than what are just on the packaging.
Yeah.
And so did you do that for 100 grams?
So the spec sheets, the actual spec sheets here are for 100 grams.
Right.
And
so
then
that's a little bit easier than your regular serving size
Mm-hmm.
to tell what the actual carb count and stuff is. So that's what we've always done. You're not always going to eat 100 grams, but at least you get a good sampling of what the reality of the carbs are. And so that's why we usually put it in with 100 grams, so that's easier to see.
Well, and I like to use the carbs per 1,500 calories.
Okay.
Because, so why is it 1,500 calories? Well, let's say you use a half cup of heavy cream. Mm-hmm. Combine that with a serving of Keto Chow. That's around 530 calories.
Which is a lot, but
which 3
for
of those
a meal,
would be,
that's not that weird.
Yeah. So this is kind of, could you use it for 3 meals a day? Mm-hmm. And how many carbs would you be getting? If you use heavy cream powder, which is actually sweet cream powder, look on the label.
Yep.
You would really be getting 25 total carbs or net carbs. It's the same thing. There's no fiber in butter or in heavy cream. If you use butter powder, you're getting 16.
Yeah.
With real heavy cream, you're getting 12, 12 and a half. And with actual butter, 1,500 calories is 0.126.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
So we don't recommend that you use powdered cream or butter, but you can if you want to. I think it's good for certain applications if you can afford the carbs. So I think if you're hiking or backpacking somewhere, I guess that's the same thing. Then you could use it. If you want to keep it in your food storage, I think that's a great option for emergency preparedness reasons.
But it does take up more space. It has more weight or mass for the same number of calories, and it's going to cost more.
Yes.
So if you choose to use that, just be aware of the potential drawbacks.
Yeah.
Is the main point of what we're trying to say.
But I think too, you can choose to use that because of convenience, because you're gonna use that at work and you don't have anywhere you can refrigerate anything, and you're just going to drink it. So I think you just need to be aware of the carbs that are in there and just make the choice to have those carbs. So you definitely can. We don't necessarily recommend it, but you can make that choice. And it's still, I think, has its applications.
Yep. Swan wanted to know if powdered coconut oil was on there. It's not, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't ever found a spec sheet for powdered coconut oil that gives the full breakdown.
Yeah.
It's always just per tablespoon. And it's like, I can't infer any information from a tablespoon. So.
Yeah, and something else we talked about 2 weeks ago, I think, was powdered MCT oil. And it's similar to the butter and the heavy cream that we've learned about. It just has a little bit more carbs to it.
Yeah.
And it's simply because it's powdered.
They have to powder it on something. Sometimes they do it the right way, and they do it on acacia gum. But sometimes they do it on other stuff. Sometimes they powder it on maltodextrin, which is starch, and it's just crazy.
Yep, and you just have to, pay attention to ingredients. And
Rhonda is going to go to bed. Good night, Rhonda.
Sleep tight. I'm glad you're getting some
Good
sleep.
night, Rhonda.
Good night, Rhonda.
Sylvia says I was rear-ended 3 different times. The last one was the day I got my car back from getting it repaired from the second time.
Oh, I'm sorry. What a bummer.
Ellen's coming in late.
Hi, Ellen.
And to Chris and says, what's up, family? We're just talking about fun stuff.
Yeah. We're talking about car accidents and butter powder.
Yep.
Do you want to do the next question?
Yep.
Okay, we had a question on Instagram. Can you develop a keto chow that is plant-based? I would love an option without dairy protein.
Okay.
So without dairy protein is different than plant-based.
It is.
Because we could do a beef, and we do have the beef.
We do have the beef soup
sweet
base.
beef without the milk protein, but that doesn't mean it would be plant-based because a lot of the vitamins are not.
And actually, let's use the proper terminology here.
Okay.
When they say plant-based, what they mean is plant only.
Yeah.
So if like a vegan by another name, we are not going to do a version that does not have any animal products in it. Plain and simple. It goes against our core values of giving people the best nutrition that they can possibly get. Anyway, because humans require the forms of vitamins that are made by animals exclusively, we can't often use the forms that are made by plants. It has to be processed through something else. If you're just talking about dairy-free, we already have, like Miriam said, we have the beef soup base, the creamy tomato basil, and the taco soup base that do not use any dairy in them at all.
Yep, and you can use the beef soup. We actually talked about this earlier today. You can use the beef soup base to make it into a sweet keto chow if you'd like to put chocolate, any kind of flavoring into it.
Throw some Torani syrup in there.
Throw some syrup into it. You'll need to add a sweetener, but then you can add whatever sweetener you like. And then we also have the base powder, which is just the vitamins and the everything but the sweetened, flavored protein. So you'd have to add a protein, which could be any protein you would like.
Could be egg protein.
And you need to add a sweetener. And then you'd need to add a flavor.
Which a lot of them...
If you have a protein, it will already have a flavor.
A lot of them will, yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you. And on the base powder page, there's a lot of information here, plus some recommendations. So if you're just looking for something that doesn't have any dairy in it, we do have quite a few options. They don't taste as good as the regular keto chow.
Yeah, but the nice thing is you can tweak it to be however you like.
Yeah, and that's something that we run into a lot is people want us to make something that tastes as good as regular keto chow that isn't regular keto chow. And there's a reason we make keto chow the way that we do. And it's not because we're lazy. And it's not because we haven't tried to do other stuff. It's because some of the things we have not successfully been able to replicate in any way other than the way that it is. So.
Yep. But thanks for the question.
Yeah. Wilma says, now I'm mixing in my keto chow with 4 tablespoons of butter with warm water and then blending in my NutriBullet. I put it in a shaker bottle and into the fridge.
Yes.
Oh, Joe just got home from his game, celebrating Caleb's 21st birthday.
Happy birthday, Caleb. We should sing to him.
Well, you're going to have to get him.
Well, he can just
Let's say hi to some people, and
just
then
show
we'll
him the
sing to
thing.
him, okay?
Okay.
Wellman says, hola.
Hola.
Shauna says, my worst truck accident, tire split and rolled down 40 feet in Bangor.
Oh my
Holy
gosh,
cow.
that's scary.
Okay, Mary says I was rear-ended in Wendy's drive-through. The car behind me was in park, and the car behind him hit so hard it pushed him into me.
Oh man.
Wellman says I love cows.
I love cows too.
Cows are cute and tasty.
Yeah. Cute and tasty.
Yeah. Wellman says cows are lactose because they don't have feet. They lactose. They technically do have toes, but it's anyway.
It's different.
Cloven hoof. Jack says the base powder works great.
Yeah.
Okay,
really
here we go.
does.
We're gonna sing to Caleb. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dearest Caleb. Happy birthday to you.
21.
No, he's a real boy.
Real boy.
That's my reminder that it's
Time to
go to sleep.
We should actually follow up pretty soon.
Well, it's 7:45.
That means go to sleep?
Well, it's giving me a advanced warning because
Okay.
we've been
Cool.
trying to
Yeah.
go to sleep at a good time. Joe says that was awesome. Mad for Sax says sax, like saxophone. After 14 months with no sense of taste or smell, a month ago, I had surgery to try and help. Yesterday, I started to taste and smell again.
Yes!
Enjoying the taste of Irish cream in my coffee tonight.
so
That
happy.
is so awesome.
I'm so happy.
Congratulations.
Because I bet that was miserable.
Joe says all our kids are adults now.
Oh.
Where did I go? I was saying something about adults, and I said I'm adult, and the person I was talking
so
to just
sad.
didn't get the joke. Swung says my advance warning to get ready for bed comes at 7 p.m.
Yeah, ours is apparently 7:45. So I'm trying to go to bed at 8:30.
Yep. Well,
I'm trying to do.
I think it's a 45-minute warning.
Yeah. But you know what I was doing for a while? I was trying to go to bed at 9 a while ago, and I kind of got closer to that. And so now I'm just bumping it back. So pretty soon I'll be trying to go to bed at 8, and then I'll make 8:30.
Hey,
Right?
I put the Uller back on the bed yesterday.
So you can sleep in coolness?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ready for next question?
Yeah.
Bobby asked, will Keto Chow put me in ketosis?
Ooh, put you into
I'm
ketosis.
having a hard time getting into ketosis.
Okay.
So that's a good question. So we have no exogenous ketones in Keto
Yes.
Chow. A lot of times people ask that, and they feel like exogenous ketones will put you in ketosis, which technically they
will be burning
because
ketones.
you'll burn the ketones that you are drinking.
You will
Right?
not be in a ketogenic or a manufacturing or making ketones.
Or fat adapted state.
Yeah, it won't. Exogenous ketones won't help with that. And with Keto Chow, we don't put that stuff in there because, well, among other things, some people don't tolerate it very well. I also don't want to pay the exorbitant amounts that it costs to buy the pure ketones that aren't a racemic mixture of the left-handed and right-handed isomers.
Okay.
Lots of big words, but it just means that when you make a carbon-containing chemical in a lab, an organic compound, that's what organic means, is it has carbon in it. You get one that will twist light in a right-handed direction and one that will twist light in a left-handed direction when you shine polarized light through it in a crystalline form.
That sounds very boring.
It just means that they're mirror images. You have two molecules that are mirror images of each other,
Yes.
okay? And when you make ketones in a lab, you actually get both of those. By the way, dextrose, like maltodextrin, dextrose, that's because it is the right-handed version of the glucose molecule.
Okay, and that's
There's actually
what it is.
both versions of it.
Okay.
We can't process the left-handed version, so there are some sweeteners that
Okay.
use the glucose that's wrong because we don't metabolize it.
Oh, so that's when all those pills and stuff that you can take
Some of them, but
to go through your system or whatever?
yeah. But so back to the original question, will Keto Chow put you into ketosis? No. you eating a diet that is suitable for a ketogenic lifestyle,
Yes.
that will allow your body to naturally enter a ketogenic state on its own. The problem is our bodies do not know what to do with high glucose and
Yeah.
high ketones at the same time. It's an unnatural state. And it's sending, ketones also are a messaging thing. It tells your body to do stuff. And so if ketones are present in your body, that tells your body to do stuff. But if glucose is high as well, it tells your body to do conflicting stuff.
Yes.
It's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. So you have to have low enough carbs that you can get into ketosis, and you may use Keto Chow for that. You can't
Yes.
have Keto Chow for breakfast and then have an entire bag of regular potato chips. That will not get you into ketosis.
That's not a good idea.
You can, if you want to stay eating carbs and have Keto Chow, then you'd want to lower your fat
Yep.
and then just eat the standard American diet.
If
right?
you wanted to be like one of our employees, their son does a lot of powerlifting, and he wants protein powder, and he uses Keto Chow without fat in it as just protein powder with a lot of nutrients in it as well.
Yep.
But he's not doing a high fat, high carb diet. So, but we don't put ketones in Keto Chow. If you wanted to add that, or if you wanted to use MCT oil, which is actually a better way to do it, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
You absolutely could add it if you wanted to. If you had something that required higher ketones, like Maitreya, but she will often say that she benefits from higher ketones.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But you need to eat ketogenically if you want to be
Yes.
in ketosis.
yeah, that's the
Does
best way
that
to do it.
help?
Plus, it's kind of the goal is to lose weight for most people.
Most people.
And if you're adding ketones, which are a form of energy, you have to burn those before you can get to the stored fat anyway. So it kind of is, it's counterproductive. Our children are watching a show and they're laughing.
They're laughing.
It's great.
Yeah.
A Swang says, I just got my chili pad, but I haven't set it up yet. Excited to try it. Oh, and Carrie says, I had a truck when I was going down the highway and the timing chain broke. I'm glad it was a standard transmission. I just downshifted and coasted downhill.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, you can do that in automatic. I'm glad you're safe. That's scary.
Lisa said I just had chocolate mint with fresh strawberries and it's yummy.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Too Crazy Keo says, nerd, nerd, nerd. Absolutely.
Right.
Swang says I need to pick up some distilled water for the chili pad. Yes.
Yeah.
We need to get some more because we're down to like half a gallon.
That's true.
And apparently, during all of the pandemic, not enough of everything, one of the things people were running low on was distilled water.
Oh, really?
And so a lot of people were saying, just go on Amazon, pay $50 and buy a water distiller.
Oh.
The number one users of distilled water are people with CPAP machines.
Oh, yeah. They would need that.
They go through it like crazy.
It's funny. I don't ever think about CPAP machines,
Yep.
except now every time I go into a trailer, I look for the spot where the CPAP machine would go.
That's where the CPAP goes.
I mean, that's what my mom should have. That's what your mom should have.
Yeah.
The CPAP machine, and they don't have it.
Mimi says, oh, and by the way,
very
Stwang,
beneficial.
if you start to get weird stuff in it, add some hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, yeah.
Is what you used to do before they added the automatic cleaning thing,
Oh.
which generates ozone
Okay.
and acts like hydrogen peroxide automatically, but sometimes it still gets gummed up and you have to
Yeah,
add it
that's
to
a
it.
bummer.
Starts to turn brown. Mimi says, I have my reminder to go to sleep at 1 a.m. If I don't, I will go to sleep at 3. Oh my.
Oh, my gosh. That's so late, Mimi.
Betsy says, well, if that's chemistry, I think it's so interesting. I was probably too dumb for the actual course. I'd love to hear about it. The
Yeah.
funny thing is, I never took chemistry, ever.
I took chemistry.
I never did.
I liked it better than physics. Physics is math. Nobody told me that. I thought physics was science. No, it's math with the science name is what it is.
Oh, I thought that was geometry. Well, actually, I really liked
Geometry
geometry.
is also math. I actually
liked
liked geometry.
My geometry teacher in high school was a former NFL linebacker.
Ooh.
And every once in a while, he would stop teaching us geometry and go on a tirade about how he'd never, ever, ever take steroids. I think we got that lecture 4 or 5 times that year. It was so funny.
Was that a thing? Everybody was liking
Well,
steroids?
no, but it was a thing for him.
Wow, that's funny.
Andrew says, just an FYI, mix peaches and cream and pina colada to get a fuzzy noodle.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Radical Geek says, true, keeps the seizures away, but nutritional ketosis is better than supplemental ketones.
Yes.
William's checking out. Good night, William.
Good night, William.
Heather says, we love our chili pads. Yeah, well, it's been so cold here that we have electric blankets for the wintertime,
Yeah.
but we've had a heat wave lately.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there laying in bed, I'm like, I have something for this. It's just in the closet, not
It's an
hooked up.
electric blanket that's backwards.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
The problem was the
blanket on
pump
the
had
top.
started making noises
Oh, yeah.
on mine, because I
Last
use mine
year.
a lot more than yours.
Just trade me.
Well, they're set up differently.
Okay.
So I took it apart, lubricated the pump, put it back
Yeah.
together, and now it's quiet again.
My problem is I am hot, or I'm cold when I go to bed, but then I'm hot when I'm in the middle of the night. So I'd turn the Uller on, and the electric blanket would still be on, so they're like fighting it out.
Humidifier and a dehumidifier in
Yeah.
the room. Let them fight it out.
Same.
John says, during that time, I asked my local store for distilled H2O, and they were keeping extra in the back for medical reasons and
Oh,
brought me
that's
3
nice.
bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marie says, I finally just bought a water distiller.
Nice.
Well, this is kind of like we have high carbs. You can burn sugar or ketones. But sugar made me fat and gave me arthritis. Ketones makes me
Yes.
beautiful and smarter.
That's right.
Sean says, oh, so I can use hydrogen peroxide instead of the chili pad cleaner? Yes.
Yep.
Betsy says, Chris, you're kidding. How did you learn all that?
He remembers lots of smart facts.
I remember
dumb
stuff that's
facts.
interesting to me. How about that?
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot just reading stuff, if it's fascinating.
Yeah, when he was a kid, he read encyclopedias.
Encyclopedias were the best. Maitreya, back me up here. Encyclopedias. You get one, 3 hours later, you're like,
Wow.
whoa, where did the time go?
We had some, and I just really like to put them on the shelf.
Heather says my husband is a furnace, so his side is set to 60 when my side is 76.
Oh, that's nice.
John says, however, now I have travel CPAP, no water needed. Oh, wow,
Oh,
that's
that's
interesting.
cool.
Jack says, good night, all. Have a blessed
Good
night.
night. Sleep tight. You want to do another question?
Yeah,
Okay, here's a question. Is that the right one?
do that one.
Oh, sorry. I can read. Carol wants to know, can I send Keto Chow as a gift to someone outside of my household?
I can think of 2 ways that you can do that. Maybe you'll come up with something different.
Okay.
Number 1, buy them a gift card. It works really well.
Yeah, totally.
So the way to do that, if you go on our website and you go to shop and you go to bottles and more, and there is the,
Whoa.
that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
There's the Keto Chow gift cards. Okay, I was about to say, the denomination isn't there. Yeah, you can do any one you want. You can buy a 50 or 100. And
then it can just email to them, so you don't even have to do anything.
Yep, sends it off to them.
Yeah.
So that's the first way you could do it.
Okay.
The second way you could do it is place an order with their address as the shipping address.
Yep, you'd still want to put your address as the billing address.
Yes.
Because otherwise it'll get confused.
And just be aware, you may get a call from customer service saying, we noticed this isn't going to the right place.
Is this your place?
Just to make sure that it's not a fraudulent thing.
Yep, we want to make sure nobody's credit cards get stolen and used. So we watch those pretty carefully.
Patricia says 100% upvote for encyclopedias. See? And Christy Davis says, I used to love my Encyclopedia Britannica. I miss those. And that was the thing.
Yeah.
If you were the cool parent, you would buy
know.
the set of encyclopedias.
We had the World
The World Book.
Books, yeah.
We had old ones from the 1950s.
Wow, those are old.
Yeah. Willie wants to know, are you going to get a different strawberry? We have 2 strawberries right now. We've got the regular strawberry and the natural strawberry. You want to tell people what the difference is?
Yeah, the natural strawberry has monk fruit, and the regular strawberry has sucralose, like every other flavor.
Yep. So we just have those 2. Or you mean a different one besides those 2?
Or reformulate.
Now,
We might in the future.
One thing that Miriam, she never really liked how strong the flavor of the
Yeah, I
strawberry
want it
was.
to be more strawberry, strong flavor.
And so we started making it with butter.
It definitely amps up the flavor.
Yep.
Also, if you're making it in a blender, throw a real strawberry in there. That'd be yummy.
Or pour in some Torani syrup
Yeah.
or Da Vinci syrup.
Yeah. Or OOO flavors.
That's also true. Betsy says we had the Red World book. We had those as well.
Oh, nice.
Sean says I miss the smell of encyclopedias. We went to the library for ours.
Yeah.
Brian says I love the children's encyclopedia books. One was just nursery rhymes and stories. I loved reading through those. So my mom had a set of those, and we have them.
Yeah, we actually have the ones that I had when I was a kid. They're Childcraft brand, and there's like 15 of them or something, and yeah, they're pretty old.
Sky, I said, my partner always says, I'm the holder of 10,000 pieces of useless information.
Yeah.
Unless you need a good Trivial Pursuit partner.
Right? Isn't that the best?
That's me.
I know. Chris would slaughter me in those kind of games.
Okay. Gary says encyclopedias were the best. Way back when we had to look up stuff for our research papers before the internet. I was called a nerd since I was always in the library. Nah,
it's
you were
so
just
funny
ahead of
though
your time.
because I was so irritated when I was doing homework and I had to like do the biography. Oh my gosh, bibliography.
Bibliography. Yeah.
The end part where you had to write everything.
All the
if you had
sources?
a web page, because you had to write it all because
Oh,
this
you
was
didn't know
before,
about link shorteners?
before link shorteners, right? And this is when you had to
Little bit
put
of
your
buffering.
rough draft in that was by hand.
Yeah.
So I had to write the whole stupid web address by hand, and it was so dumb, and I hated it.
Yep.
That's what I hated because I'm like, can I just write Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 1?
Our buffering's done.
whatever.
Looks like we're back.
Oh, okay, cool.
It just did it a little bit.
That's okay.
William said the monk fruit didn't work for me. So yeah, we've got the regular strawberry.
Try the regular strawberry.
Or you could try the aforementioned base powder with a different protein powder that's strawberry and see if that works better.
Yeah, if you like a different flavor better.
Visual Keto says, oh man, we had a grocery store, Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedias.
Wow,
we bought
that's
one
so
each
cool.
week. That took forever.
Oh, that's so cool. I think we had like a subscription to it, and then it would come like maybe once a month or something.
That's how they would
until
usually
we finally got all of them because I think my parents couldn't afford to get the whole set.
Well, they were the equivalent of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
in today's money.
it was an investment.
It was. Christy says if you add a splash of vanilla skinny syrup to the strawberry, it amps up the flavor.
Oh, thank you, Christy. That's a good idea.
Rihanna says you can also use Perfect Keto strawberry collagen. It makes
Yes.
shakes like the strawberry quick. There
Oh,
you go.
yeah. I love strawberry.
Rick Gwen says I used to read the encyclopedia and the dictionary to find words to play at Scrabble.
What a good idea.
Kathleen said we had some from pre-1920s. Wow.
How cool is that?
As well as an older Britannica, a child set that was sold at grocery stores
Aw.
in a series at a time. The 60s.
That's so awesome. Kathleen, are you coming to Keto Salt Lake? I don't remember.
Shauna says we didn't have web pages when I was writing reports. Me neither.
Yeah, because it was just starting, I think, when I was in high school.
Miriam and I did email each other when we were dating.
Yeah.
But we didn't have cell phones. We actually didn't
have cell phones.
Cell phones until
After we had a couple kids,
it was.
I think.
We were on our third child when
Yeah.
we finally got cell phones. Okay, Patsy has a really good question. When will caramel macchiato singles be available?
I'm sorry, we don't know for sure.
What
Hopefully
happened
soon.
is they started to get low. When we redid the caramel macchiato in the large bags, it used up a lot of the caramel flavor.
Yes.
And they put in an order immediately to restock that because we had an order for the caramel macchiato singles with our manufacturer. And it unfortunately was taking a lot longer than was expected. Long story short, I got a text message this morning that said the caramel flavor is they're done producing it. They're shipping it to our manufacturer priority. Should be getting it pretty soon, and they'll immediately start the production.
Nice. But pretty soon is relevant. So
Yeah.
sometimes they say pretty soon and it's next week. Sometimes they say pretty soon and it's next month.
Kathleen says,
So.
I'm coming to Keto Salt Lake with my niece.
Yes, I need a hug from you.
Meg says, reading encyclopedias was a favorite pastime when I was a kid, and National Geographic magazines.
Okay, I actually read National
We had a
Geographic.
whole shelf, and
I
I
had
probably
a
read
shelf
the whole
of those
thing.
too, and I think we had a similar subscription. Right? that we
My
got them.
grandma bought our family a subscription to that for Christmas.
That's so cool.
So that was our family's Christmas present. We got the National Geographic every month.
Nice. Well, your dad actually took pictures for National Geographic.
No.
He did. He had, I know he had one submitted to there, and it was on the cover or something, the huts or something like that. I'm right.
I don't think so. Well, regardless.
Maybe he didn't
If he
work
did, that's
like
great. If he
specifically
didn't,
for them, but I
yeah.
know some of his pictures were featured in there.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay. Donna asked via email, I'm confused. I bought the shakes. The picture shows lots of things with the shakes. Looks like whipped cream and fruit and stuff sticking out the top of a drink. Am I supposed to add those toppings, or is that just showing you what the flavor is? Do I add a whipped cream or fruit and stuff to the drinks?
So, for instance, the gingerbread, which is sold out.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't put a real gingerbread cookie in there, but we do have a gingerbread cookie recipe that you can make if you want to add the gingerbread cookie to the top. So really the toppings are just kind of to show you what the flavor is, because we wouldn't add like real peaches because that's not keto.
I mean, 1 or 2 slices might be okay.
It depends on how many carbs you're allowing yourself. I would not.
So for instance, like all of these peaches and stuff like that, we're illustrating the flavor.
Yep.
Is what it is. We're not making a recommendation that you do that.
Yep, but you
See,
can.
You can totally zoom into these now.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Look how cute that is.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Yep, but we do have a bunch of recipes that have that are fun and different. One of the ones that we've been thinking about and talking about lately is the strawberry chia pudding. Chris won't like it, but it's really
Can't do
good.
chia.
It's really good. You should check it out.
This means I'm out of air.
Yeah.
Give me air.
No, this means
Turtle.
I'm almost out of air.
Oh yeah, this
this
is
means
almost
I'm out of air.
Out of air.
This means level off.
And this means safety stop.
Safety stop.
Safety stop.
And this means
Oh, check your pressure gauge.
Pressure regulator.
Do you know
This
how
is all
much?
scuba stuff.
I was so pleased with myself. I think she must have seen me. Okay, so on Saturday we did our last
did.
pool dive,
Yeah.
and we were supposed to do a small like going around and doing a dive, and then we were supposed to stay together as a group and then come up together and do a safety stop and all that other stuff. And she was coming around and like testing people, like having them take off their mask and then empty it out underwater, which you just use your nose. It's super easy. You just
Yeah, Sam's
And all the water
scared of
comes
that,
out.
so we might want to go to the pool and try it anyway.
But she didn't do anything to me. And when we got up to the top, she's like, I said, 2,100. I said 2021. And she's like, okay, show me. I was like, 2,050.
Oh, that's close.
It was awfully close
Yeah.
because I had just looked.
Yeah. It's difficult to communicate underwater because you can't
Really
hear
hard.
each other. And so even though they had showed us all the signs, it's just not so fresh in our memory. It's not as easy if you don't remember. So she did that to me. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean again? Is that pressure or compass? And I'm like, oh, I think it's the pressure. So I went to look at it and she's all, no. Tell me what you think it is. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, because I'm not hearing her say it. And she's like, I'm like, well, oh, she
You
wants
have
me to guess.
antennae.
And I said 2,500. And then she's like, yes, now look. And I'm like, okay, oh, I'm so close. It was like 2,600 or something like that.
So the pressure, the tanks that we're using, this is completely off.
Yeah, you guys want to hear this randomness.
Usually they start with 3,000 PSI.
Yeah.
Now the cool thing is, because it's just compressed air, as you use up air, it goes down in a linear fashion.
Yeah.
It's not like with a battery. If you ever check the voltage on a battery, it's like 4.21, 4.20, 4.19. 3.7. It's like, what? Where did the middle go? But with the air, it goes down in a nice
Just
linear.
goes down.
But anyway, so ours are supposed to start at 3,000. That's what they're rated for, which 3,000 PSI is crazy. But Miriam's, I think, started at like one.
It was like 3,600. It was overfilled.
Way overfilled.
Yeah, the tank was.
Yeah.
And and it's kind of easy to estimate because I'm like, well, how long have we been in the water? Oh, like maybe an hour. So I can guess that this is probably, close to here. But she's teaching us so that we can make sure we check our air so we don't run out. And we're supposed to, at 1,000, say, I'm getting close to running out of air. And that's when you need to start going back.
Yeah, you have time to make a
end.
stop. But anyway.
That's not neither here nor there.
Yeah. What is that one?
Okay, next question.
Oh, this is a very good one.
Yes, Anne asked some questions about shopping carts and discounts. I last ordered in November 2021, and I'm wondering if you changed some things. I'm
Lots of
not
things.
seeing the bulk discount in my cart. It used to say add X more packs to receive 5% off. Also, is there a new reward system I need to sign up for?
Both of those.
Yes.
So, so we used to have, you could order multiple pack of the large bags, and you would get a 5% discount. We got rid of that in favor of the My Chow kit and the My Chow surprise kit.
Yep, and those have the deepest discounts. So if you want to have a discount, it's good to get a subscription. I actually saw a comment on one of the YouTube videos today that said, I'm waiting for a sale. I would really love a discount. And I didn't reply. I thought about it a lot. Like, really, what you want to do is get My Chow subscription because it's either 15% off or 20% off. That's the deepest discounts you can get with Keto Chow.
Yep.
And then if you can't afford it often, just go back in, edit your subscription, and make it like 3 months between times, because then you can afford it if you spread out a little bit more. And
But if you really can't afford it, please don't buy it.
that's true.
I do want to point that out.
Yeah, we want you to be wise.
Yep. Anyway, you were saying, sorry.
I was just saying that if you want to save money, that's the easiest way.
Yeah.
You can get the smallest pack. You can spread it out the furthest if you want to, and then you can even save money. Put it in an envelope or something, and say, okay, this is my Keto Chow money. Like, be really careful. But that's the best way to get a deal. Like, any of the deals that we have ever are not going to be better than My Chow.
Yep. Yeah, the best consistent way to do it. Lori says, chia pets, heck with the pudding. Randy is going to go to bed. Wellman says, my husband says, thanks for the Keto Chow. Today is day 1. He made it to the end of the day, low carb.
Awesome.
Meat and Keto Chow. His blood pressure and weight is high. Looking forward to him getting healthier. Thank you, Chris and Miriam.
Yes, thank you.
Lori says, thanks for mentioning the water distillers. I had no idea there was such a thing. And it's hard getting distilled water at Walmart for my hubby's sleep apnea machine. Ordered one for his birthday.
Yay!
And what better way to say I love you than with the gift of a water distiller. Now this is something that came up. I don't know if you knew I was even making this. I have not posted this yet.
Oh, what does it say?
PSA, build your own equity accelerator and tackle your monthly expenses. So for any of you who don't know, there's a post on our blog. It's password security tips from Chris.
Oh yeah, I told him to do that.
So it's weird. It has nothing to do with Keto Chow, but it keeps coming up on our live streams that people are like, hey, how should I do passwords? Like, because you talk about it. So here, there's just right here is, hey, here's the 5 tips. And then I go on and explain better how to really do passwords.
With geeky pictures and everything.
With geeky pictures, like see this troubadour &3. Hey, that's a hard password, right?
Yeah, it's hard for you to remember.
That would take a computer 3 days to guess.
Yeah. And that's what we used to do. We used to have a series of a number of passwords that were like that. And I'm like, I don't remember how that goes.
Yep. So what you do is you use 4 random words. Here we go. Correct horse battery staple. Don't ever use that password.
Okay.
And it will, that's very difficult for computers to guess. I also recommend using 2-factor authentication, using what types of 2-factor authentication, like, email code is okay. Text message is still okay. A code generator app is really good.
Yep, we use a code generator.
Hardware key is fantastic.
And you just have to have your keys with you at all times.
For my high security stuff, I absolutely use my key thing. But a lot of password managers, this particular one, look, check out that password. Good luck remembering that.
Yeah.
But for instance, KeePass, which we used to use, it's free.
Yeah.
1Password, that's what we're actually using right now.
Yeah, we really like it.
You've got LastPass, NordPass, Bitwarden, Dropbox passwords, and then I just give my personal setup.
Yep.
I finished writing this today, but I haven't edited it yet.
Okay, this is the other.
This is the
blog
so we were
post?
talking about buy things that you can't afford,
Right.
and putting things that are fixed monthly expenses
Okay.
into a spreadsheet, because we were and we've talked about this before. Basically, we got a solicitation to enroll in an equity accelerator program with our
Yes, and
mortgage.
this was, I don't know, 15 years ago?
This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And basically, they would take half of your monthly payment,
Twice.
well, every other week, so bi-weekly. That means that twice a year there would be a third payment in that month. You would end up with a full extra house payment.
Yeah, and that was really enticing to us because it was really difficult because bi-weekly we were paying the house payment with one paycheck.
And then we'd have to screw
And
it up
then-
and just not buy anything.
and then we didn't buy anything for the rest of that paycheck. And then the next paycheck, we'd pay all of our other bills and then buy all the groceries and diapers and
And
formula and
we were-
everything.
we were
just
living
I
in
hate
our credit
house
line.
payments
Yeah.
because it would always suck up the whole entire paycheck. And so this was something that we did that got us out of our living from paycheck to paycheck. So we took the idea that they were offering to us,
for $60 a year.
and instead of having them do it for us, we did it for ourselves. We got an extra checking account,
Yep.
and then we just put half the house payment in it, and then half the house payment in it,
Yep.
and then and then we would take from that checking account and pay the house payment with it.
And the the house alarm and
Yeah.
the cell
So
phones.
I
and
think what we
internet.
did was we picked 5 bills that were exactly the same every month. So I think it was like the sewer, the car, the house.
It wasn't just 5; it was any that we had that were
They were
exactly,
exactly the same. So we didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And then it just automatically moved over every single paycheck. And then how many times a year? 2 times a year?
Twice a year.
Twice a year, we'd end up with extra money because of that 5th week in the month.
Yep.
And that's what we used for Christmas, to buy our kids Christmas.
Yep.
And so it got us to
yeah.
the point where we weren't dying every time the house payment came around, because we were just leaning on that extra checking account that we just didn't touch, and it just paid those bills. And then we were able to kind of budget and do things with the other checking account that made things so much easier. So that was just what we did. And you don't have to do that, of course, but it was really freeing, because it was a difficult time for us because we just were living on paycheck to paycheck, and we had so many medical bills, which is funny because we didn't have a lot of medical problems. We just had so many kids, and kids cost money, and those pregnancies, our insurance wasn't very good.
$5,000 a
when we
pregnancy.
had those pregnancies, and so I had 3 kids I had to pay for.
Well, people are like, "Wow, twins!" And they're like, "Hey, we saved
buy one, get one.
$10,000 by having twins twice."
Yeah.
It was
So that was a really important part of our, marriage and our journey too. So even though it's not about keto,
nothing to do with keto, but it's something
it's
that
just something cool that we like.
really, it literally changed our financial life, because we were no longer worrying about that, and we were able to get out of the paycheck to paycheck. Like we had a $1,000 buffer on our checking
Yeah, it
account,
was
the
so
overdraft,
nice.
and we lived in and out of
Yeah,
that.
that was we
almost
did.
to the
We
top,
lived in it all the time.
almost to the
And
top.
it's like, it's not fun living on credit all the time. It's
No, it
just
was not.
It's not healthy, and then you're always burdened and feeling the stress. So that was very freeing for us, and I'm sure you guys already have figured that out. But in case you want to know
haven't,
our story.
anyway, I'm going to try and get that edited so I can get it posted.
Okay, cool.
I thought of that when you were talking about, if you can't afford Keto Chow and you can maybe budget it out, maybe every other month or something like that.
Yeah.
But Carrie says I used the LastPass password generator with strong
Yes,
passwords.
that's so
Fantastic.
great. I'm so glad.
Shauna says I did all those things and I've been changing all my passwords. Some idiot stole my well name and face from Instagram. Wrong email. Not my correct Instagram pic.
Oh,
What a
I'm
pain.
sorry. Yeah.
Rickwin says, when I worked as a security officer, I had to teach a class on passwords. Employees had to have a password, 15 characters, and they couldn't have it around their desk.
Oh, that's smart.
So Shauna says, yep, I'm using LastPass, and Betsy is
Nice.
too. Yep. And Shauna says, I'm doing that right now to get ready for my upcoming
That's such
keto
a great
trips.
idea, because then you can just have the budget for your trip, and you'll be like, I'll just put $20 here, and then you're like, oh, I have some money to go on my trip. Yay.
Well, and Shauna says, but no extra checking account, too much mass. But for us,
yeah.
the key thing for us was that having the separate checking account.
That we couldn't touch.
Yeah, the only time stuff went out of that was automatic bill pay. And then we also had a credit card on it so that we could like pay Comcast.
Yes, but we just didn't touch it. It just automatically came from one checking account into the other, and so we knew every single paycheck that would go, and then whatever was left was what we could use.
Yep.
For our bills and finances.
Of course, we just went buffering again.
Oh,
looks like we're back.
Yeah.
Bessie says, "Thank you so much. I need so much financial help and no one to help me. It makes me cry."
We'll help you.
Matt says, "And Canadians and Europeans are screaming at their screens. You had to pay $5,000 a kid. Fun fact: our last child, how much did he cost?
Oh, he's like $150.
Sheesh, because we got really good insurance at that point.
Super cheap.
Yep.
Although he cost me a lot of problems. I mean,
like
not a
your
lot of
eyesight.
Problems. My eyesight, my
Your
legs went downhill. Like I have leg problems from him.
Yep.
He just, yeah. Also, my stomach is just a big ball of mush. But that was mostly the twins.
Yeah. It did what it needed to.
You're
amazing.
I am. Thank you.
Sean says, my
Love
extra is
to
in
hear
my
that.
savings and I don't touch it. Okay. But
Yes.
I set up a lot of things on auto, so
It
it's
is.
helpful.
It's super helpful.
Yep. We actually even had it transferring a little bit extra every time to beef that up.
Yeah, and then we just made sure we kept it. And something that my mom taught me when I first got my first checking account in college, and she said, just keep a buffer in there into your account. And the problem was our overdraft became the buffer, because before that
Yes,
I'd had like $100 buffer, and even though when I subtracted all my check registry, I had that $100 in there so that I could have that buffer for overdraft fees or any kind of problems that I ever had. But when we, got married and had kids, then we just used that overdraft money for the
Incidentally,
buffer.
the second checking account, we still are using.
Yeah, we still use it.
Life insurance comes out of there.
Mm-hmm. All those 5 bills that are the same.
Auto insurance comes out of there.
It's awesome.
The sewer comes out of there.
And we can still grab that extra $1,000 for Christmas money every year.
Yep.
It's like, yes.
Let's see. Betsy says thanks. Shauna says Sam will have to be the child that takes care of you in the old age.
I know.
Right?
I will.
Mandatory fun. Okay. Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about tonight?
I think we went over all of our questions.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Yeah. So you all have a good night and stuff.
And you are enough. Remember how amazing your body is, and it's doing a lot of things right. Even if it does some things wrong, it's still doing a lot of things right.
Yep. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.